Okay, re-recording video number 3. The one I put up there before didn't work. So guess what? This list of video series and review documents is not all inclusive of everything. You might be tested on for the final, so you are responsible for studying everything. Okay. Now, again, let's try factor by grouping. We split it by 2. What's the GCF of these two terms? X squared. What's left over? X minus 4. How about what's the GCF of these two terms? 5. What's left over when you factor out of 5? You get x minus 4. Now, this is where a lot of students would get lost, okay? Think of this x minus 4 as another GCF. X minus 4 is the GCF. Watch this. Let me write this differently. If I said x squared y plus 5y, what's the GCF of those two terms? Wouldn't it be y? Couldn't you just pull that GCF out and leave the x squared plus 5 inside? That's exactly what's happening here. X minus 4 is a single factor. X minus 4 is a single factor. So I factor that out. What's left over is just the x squared plus 5. Make sense? That's how you factor by grouping. Warning, warning, warning. This x squared term may or may not be another difference of squares. You need to make sure if you factor completely, that may or may not be a difference of squares. I can't remember if I put this on the test or if it's a difference of squares. Always be looking for difference of squares to factor. Okay? Last one on the review. How do we complete the square? I'm sorry. I gave it away. How do we change this standard form into vertex form? Complete the square. What's the phrase that pays for complete the square? Split it, square it, add it, right? Split, square, add. Okay? Oh, by the way, 2 little caveats. You guys know what a caveat is? A pre-existing condition. Two things that have to exist. Sorry. Before you can complete the square, the first thing you got to make sure of is you set it equal to 0. You have to have everything on one side and set it equal to 0. Then you have to make sure the leading coefficient is 1. The leading coefficient here is 1, so I don't have to divide everything by a. So when I split it, square it, add it, I'm talking about the b term. Split it. That gives me x plus 3, and I'm going to complete the square right there. What am I adding to the right-hand side? It's 9. So leave the 5 alone. So we got almost done with vertex form. What's the last thing to do? Subtract the 9 over there. And so our vertex form is right here. So, oh, I didn't say identify the vertex. I think that was on the IF standard. This is vertex form. Right there. Remember, it's general form just like everything else we've done. There's H, H lies, there's K. -3, -4 would be the vertex. That's a separate video. But anyway, that's the end of the video series. Everybody say yay! Yay.